right, it's time for the next phase of this Antarctica adventure. Another aviation interlude after our first day coming in on the A340 and the Basler BT67. Today we have a nice treat. We only found out this morning we're going to be flying on the Twin Otter. And so it's time to head up to the skiway up here, where apparently it's going to be landing momentarily to take us back down to Fang Runway, where there's some fun stuff going on. Hopefully we can get a sense of some of the operations, some of the behind the scenes there at Fang. And I hear it's actually sunny weather down there too, which is always nice. So gonna get in this amazing 6x6 truck and head down to meet the Twin Otter.
The piston bully, and he went up today, and that's all that's left from his grooming. So I have to stay off his grooming on the wind cupped ice. This is the worst climb to the skiway. There we go. That's it. 4x4 has more difficulty.
We'll fly over camp, we'll fly over the ice waves, and then not really much more to see between here and Fang, so about 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes. Yeah. Any questions? Oh, sick bags are in the seat backs. Not that we should need them.
sweating. I think this is fun. This is not fun.
I don't think I've ever taken turns so steep and sharp and felt such G-forces in a civil aircraft. That was amazing. Wow, and to do it in Antarctica, these Canadian pilots are definitely something else. Also, look at those mountains out there. I just can't get enough of it. Not to mention the Basler over there in the background. It's like aviation dreamland. Unbelievable.
What do you think?
That's the craziest.
This is like, I think, the most beautiful flight ever.
Yeah,
Right?
certainly, like, I've never flown like that before. Yeah.
This is, I really wanted to hear like you saying, do you get something? Like sickness or something?
Make sure that they stay in the
But
camp
it's just
without
like,
Jason. It's
Just the head was like, wow.
this is so
All right, let's take a tour of the Echo Camp. The people who are staying here this week are currently at the South Pole, I think making their way back, so we get a chance to take a look for ourselves. All right, Twin Otter time again for the return flight up to Whichaway Camp. So if you saw the Air Tindy video flying the Twin Otter up there out of Yellowknife, pretty cool because at the end of the season down here, this aircraft will get taken up by these pilots back up to Canada for the northern summer season, and it'll end up back up in Yellowknife, and from what I understand, flying with Air Tindy once again, so it's pretty cool. It's amazing how these things traverse the whole Earth to kind of serve their best purpose in the seasons at the different poles, basically. And always a pleasure to fly with the Twin Otter. And it's my first time on one of the skis. That is an extra cool look.
Same thing as yesterday, basically. We'll do the whole thing in reverse in 40 minutes or so. We'll be there.
Thank you so much.
No problem. biggest thing's probably the weather and alternates. It's kind of always, you need to always have a place to go, and then always just the weather. It's so unpredictable here. It can change in a heartbeat. Forecasts aren't the best down here either, so you always got to take that into consideration and always have a backup.
I was also kind of curious about, you know, with so much sort of ice, it's kind of very difficult to tell how high or low you are.
Yeah.
Is it just a matter of having the experience, or?
A little bit of that. It definitely gets easier the longer you're here, but we have a radar altimeter in the plane, so when it's overcast, we're oftentimes using that while we're flying. Other than that, it's just knowing the terrain and knowing how high to go to avoid it.
I noticed you ascended quite a bit and then descended pretty soon after, about two-thirds of the way in. What was that for?
We were calling, there's a Russian base right there, Novo, so they've got a runway of their own and a radio. So we just popped up because they're down a hill, so we had to pop up to give them a call.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what about the Twin Otter? Like, what do you like best about flying the Twin Otter?
It's everything. It's the best plane. It's amazingly rugged, and the places you can take this are shocking. 10 years this plane I've been flying for. Started with this plane in Yellowknife. It was owned by Summit Air at the time, and then Enterprise bought it and brought it down here, and I came with the plane.
Nice. And do you go back up to Yellowknife in the northern summer? Or?
No, summertime I'm flying a water bomber now, a CL-215 out of Manitoba.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, well, thank you so much.
Ah, no problem.
Really
Hope
awesome.
you enjoyed.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I hope you enjoyed that little adventure on the Twin Otter, down to Fang and back up to Whichaway. I can't think of a cooler way to fly in a small twin-engine aircraft than over this kind of ice. All the different types of ice and rock and mountains in the distance and ice waves and glaciers. My God, it must be such an interesting challenge to fly here. I only got a chance to briefly chat with Cody, Captain, great guys as well. I'm sure there's a lot more experience and know-how that goes into it than Cody was letting on. He seems like a humble guy. Anyway, I hope you had fun, and back at Whichaway Camp now, where it's sunny. Amazing. See you next time.